What is up, YouTube? Robert LaRocco here. How's everyone doing out there? Hope everyone's being safe and having a nice, beautiful, safe Saturday wherever you are out there in the world. The topic today is starting off. Now, um, when I got into the industry of having a job, of course, everyone starts off small, and when you graduate high school, you need to figure out what you want to do with your life, and um, it's very hard because everyone is written differently in the world. Everybody. You got some people that are good at retaining certain information. You got certain people that aren't good at retaining certain information. You got people that are good with their hands. You got people that aren't good with their hands. It's a really interesting time because I'm going to explain to you how I got where I am today and my background a little bit and all of what I know. And I'm gonna try to share because I feel like I want to share something today, and this is it. I want to share things about me that I don't really talk about that much, and I want to share the knowledge I have, and I want to give it to the people, and so you guys can take it and run with it and judge me how you want. So that being said, my very first job was working at UPS. I co-opted out of high school right into UPS. I had no intentions of going to college because I'm book stupid. I'll get more into that later. I worked at UPS, left there for a while, left there, and then I fell back from UPS down to Mr. Getty's. It was a pizza joint here in town. Worked there for a while, and buddy of mine, Brian Stevens, he threw a bouncy ball, landed in the pizza mixer, and he stuck his hand in there to grab it out, and it ended up messing up his hand. Ended up getting fired from Mr. Getty's, and then I went on from there to work at a place called St. Mary's Hospital. That's where I started my healthcare career. I was washing dishes for a hospital. Wasn't very hard. It was very easy. But before I started working and doing the whole tax paying thing, when I was 13, 14, I mowed a lot of grass. I pulled a lawnmower and a weed eater and gas can around my neighborhood and mowed grass, earned some money to buy things that I wanted. And it is spawned from there. So, anyways, so I worked at the hospital. I was there for 3.5 years. Got fired due to calling in too much. That was because I had toothache and I was on my last call in, and they ended up letting me go. When you're young, you don't think about this stuff. Okay, you gotta keep that in mind. So I left there. I went to work for a company called Indy's Chicken, which was very hard on the back. I left there after so long, and I worked for a company called Shoney's. They're down in Texas. And then I left Shoney's to work for a company called Winn-Dixie. Then I left Winn-Dixie, went and worked for Kroger. And then I left Kroger, and then I jumped back into healthcare, and I went to Nazareth Home, which is a nursing facility here in town. And from that point forward, I stuck with healthcare for a long time. So I was there for a while, left there, and then I went to Signature Healthcare, where I spent like 8 years. And then I left Signature. I went to a company called Swisher Hygiene. Swisher Hygiene, I scrubbed toilets for a living and sold paper towels and toilet paper and toiletries and all that jazz, which was really good money. I did that, and then that job eventually faded away. I went back to Signature, and then I held a second job. So I was working in Signature Healthcare and I was working in Genesis Healthcare at the same time. So now I was going in at like 5 a.m. in the morning and getting off at 8 o'clock at night for like a year. And I was like, wow, that is a lot. So I did it for a year. And I've always been the gadget guy. I like taking stuff apart, figuring out how it works. I like to see how things operate. That's always been my cup of tea. When I was like 11, I used to help. When I lived in a trailer park out in Bullitt County, I helped the maintenance man clean up and help redo trailers for the trailer park. So I got a lot of maintenance experience from that. But professionally, I didn't start in maintenance yet. So, So the boss at Signature Healthcare and Maintenance saw me washing dishes one night, and he's like, "You ever work at maintenance?" I said, "Yeah, a little bit." Well, excuse me. Ignore the yawning. And I said, "Yeah, a little bit." And he's like, "Well, why don't you go work for me in maintenance? I'll give you a 14.23 an hour." I'm thinking to myself, It allowed me to leave one job and work one job. And that's where I spent most of my time in maintenance at Signature Healthcare. And then I went from Signature, I parted ways. Then I went to Universal Linen, which was a lot more money. Parted ways from there. And then I went to Certifit. Certifit is it's like a car company that delivers car parts. The boss there was a complete asshole, by the way. And then I left there. And then I went to work for a company called York Companies. I loved this company because they didn't have one thing you did. Like, I worked for them for a long time. Like, I worked for them. I helped them through Zoom Group. Zoom Group is for disabled grown adults that are mentally handicapped. Helped them with that. I worked for them through Geek Squad. I worked for Geek Squad for a while, repairing computers and working on shipping. I worked at Master Brand Cabinets through them. I did so much through York Company. I learned so much too. It was crazy because you want to figure out what you want to do ultimately at the end of the day. And I knew I wanted to go back to maintenance. So when I left there, I decided to go to Boys and Girls Haven. And I worked there for a while, and then I left, went to Uspiritus. I'm changing jobs for different reasons, and I'll explain that in a second. But when I left Boys and Girls Haven to go to Uspiritus, it was for more money. You got to go where the money's at, and there's other reasons why, but I'm not going into details. No, it was nothing bad, I promise. But now I worked at Uspiritus for a while, and I left there. Uspiritus is another nonprofit organization here in town. I was in maintenance at Boys and Girls Haven and at Uspiritus. And then Cisco called me, Cisco Foods. And if you've ever followed any of my videos on Facebook or here, you always see me in my Cisco outfit. I worked there for a while. I was almost there almost a year. And COVID happened. Fuck you, COVID. That's right. Fuck you. You're a dick. But anyways, so COVID happened, and COVID basically like made me lose my job at Cisco, and that pisses me off more than anything. Fucking Chinese. But anyways, so when that happened, they pulled me into the office and they said, "Look, COVID-19 it's hurting our business. We have to let people go." I was furloughed at first, okay. So they furloughed me for 3 weeks. I come back, then they delete my position altogether. Fuck it. Fuck you, COVID. Anyways, so good paying job, great 401k. Boss was a dick, but I overlooked that. Tried to at least. So they let me go. I rolled the bench for 3 months. Just got my unemployment, got that extra little chunk change from the government, and just stayed home safe with the family. And then once I knew it was time to go back to work, which I knew it was time, I took a job for Jeffersontown. Excuse me for my yawning. Jeffersontown rehabilitation. I was there for I think a month, 2 months, and I thought it was time to part ways. That was an okay job, but healthcare, I've begun to realize over time that healthcare is very tedious and very stressful, and I didn't want to be stressed all the time. I don't like it. I mean, if there's something that I personally don't like, I'm removing myself from the equation. That is how I roll as a person. I just straight up. So I decided to leave there and go to work for a company where I'm at now, for a company called Graystar, and I'm still there. I enjoy the hell out of it. And it's easy, it's fun, it's different. It has its moments. Like, for example, we have, on-call phone. I'm always on call, but I don't care. It's okay. But it pays good. The boss is not an asshole whatsoever. It sucks when it rains because I got to drive a golf cart around the campus. But other than that, it's really not a bad job. Um, so I can do stuff from computer networking, working on cars, masonry, plumbing. God, I can do so much that is in my arsenal. But I like doing YouTube. My problem is with this YouTube platform is I don't know what I want to focus on. That's my thing. I jump around so much between doing videos like this or doing unboxings or doing reviews or giving opinions. I need to stick with one criteria and to share it with you folks. And I keep picking different things, and that's what's making it hard for me to grow my channel. I want people to subscribe. I want people to watch my videos and give an opinion about whether it's negative or positive. I don't care. And I want them to be, I want to put out quality content, but I'm still learning the ropes, and it's not going to be easy. It's never easy. If it's easy, everyone and their mother would do it. But it is what it is. What can you do? So I've had a lot of jobs in my time, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I've had a lot of jobs in my time because I want that experience. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to go to a technical school. That wasn't my forte. I was taught that I was given the best analogy at Genesis Healthcare when I went and worked for them. You had a guy there. Excuse me for yawning. Crap. I'm a little tired. How you doing, David? They had a guy there that he said college is like building a house. Right? You go, you build a house, you lay the foundation, you build the framework. And that's it. That is your college experience. I'm talking to everybody, buddy. That's your college experience. All right. So to complete this beautiful house that you have built, you got to take that knowledge you've got in that diploma or that master's degree, whatever it is, and go out into the real world and apply it. You have to use that knowledge to complete the house, because I can tell you how to put on a tire to a car. I can tell you that you have to put the nuts in like an X, but to physically do it, it's a whole different ballpark. So I can tell you how to do it, but you need to be informed. You need to bend with your legs, not with your back, while lifting the tire. You see what I'm saying? So it's a hands-on experience. And it's one of those things that say I've never been to college. I've got a house. I've got a paid off car. I make good money. Because I do more than what people know. Like, I know how to work on vehicles, okay, but I don't advertise it to everybody. I don't say, hey man, I know how to work on a vehicle. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I know how to do brakes. I know how to do spark plugs. I know how to do oil changes. I know how to do all that jazz. But no one ever comes to me and says, can you please do this for my car? Here's some money, because I don't advertise it. Because I don't want people when people know stuff, they suck up to you, man. I don't like fake individuals. I can't stand it. Drives me crazy. But it is what it is. And I've been around the block. I've been through enough stuff in my life that would probably break an average Joe. So, my opinion on COVID. I think COVID-19 is a ruiner of lives. I think it's politically driven. I think it's real. I think when this election shit is over with, I think it's going to be I think it's going to go away. I think they're going to have a cure, or they're going to have a cure. They're going to have a vaccine. So it's going to be just like that. It's going to show up, and we're not going to think about it no more. I think that's what's going to happen to it, though. I think it's politically driven. A lot of people in this country don't like Trump. I've got people. My boss hates Trump. Okay, I think it's funny. I think it's entertaining that people are taking the energy that they have, applying it to how much they don't like somebody. I mean, it's crazy. If Trump messes up, he'll be voted out. If he messes up, he'll be voted out. It's just it's facts. Okay. If Biden messes up, if he gets president, if he messes up, he won't run another term. I don't think Biden's gonna make it through the first term. I think there's something else there. I don't know what it is. This Harris lady gives me the creeps. But anyways, and it's interesting stuff because it's like I think Trump's gonna win. I really do. I think Biden is a creeper. I agree, David. I agree. I think it's all going to be interesting at the end of the day. I think it's going to be cool to see how things pan out. I think to be clear, to make everything clear, I don't vote, and I know I should. People tell me I should all the time. I don't vote, and now I don't vote because it doesn't matter who gets into office. It doesn't matter if it's going to be Biden, if it's going to be Trump, if it's going to be this Harrison chick that's after something happens to the Biden. I don't know. That's Biden doesn't seem right all in his head. I guarantee you, if he went and had a physical done to be president, I guarantee you probably wouldn't pass because he sounds incompetent to me. I'm sorry. I mean, Trump ain't no better, but still. But I don't vote because I feel that it doesn't matter who it is. You know, it's like they're going to find something on him. Like Bush lied about the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Why does nobody ever talk about that? Obama lied about the health care, now people not losing their health care, which they did. He even came on TV and apologized for it. Okay. Why ain't nobody talking about that? Hello. And then you got I haven't really followed anything on Trump. I'm gonna be honest, because I like to stay away from politics. But I think COVID-19. I think this is what needs to happen. Okay, they have tracked COVID-19 back to China. Obviously, it started in China and it made its way over here. What needs to happen is the debt that the U.S. has to China, which is a lot, by the way. We do have a lot of debt to China. Okay, the debt to China needs to be, and I quote, China, we owe you a lot of money, but just COVID-19 stuff messed up our country. Okay, you're killing our economy. We have the best economy in the world, and your COVID-19 situation is hurting us. So what needs to happen is you need to say, hey, we're debt free from you now. You don't kill enough people in the world. Whoever you poisoned, that country should be debt free. That's what I think should happen. And they should take some of that money that they owe China and they should put back into the American people. That's what I think should happen. Out. Freaking dogs eating cat litter. Dogs retarded sometimes, I swear. But anyways, so COVID-19, I'll work for student housing where I work, and I wear masks, and I'm around the students, the younger crowd, all the time. I haven't caught it yet. My boss is 62 years old. He hasn't caught it yet, and he's diabetic as well. So therefore, think about that for a second. That's going to work every day with a death sentence on their neck, and he hasn't caught it yet. So we're doing pretty well. It's common sense. Wear a mask, wash your hands until you feel safe. That's it. Because I stick my hands in grosser shit every day at work that will probably make the average person, average Joe, just vomit. Okay, like for example, I went into a place and the garbage disposal. Here, I walk in. There's a garbage disposal, and the water's like this deep. I have to reach my hand down into that thing and unclog it. What do you think's in that? Think about it. So there's chances you have to take as a person, you know. See here. David, it's not affecting everyone the same. That's the thing. There are people out there that's probably got it that there's no there's no effect whatsoever. You got to remember that. There's like for average, like say you got Joe here. Joe can get it and and be extremely sick and bedridden from it. But Mary over here, she got it and she's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with her. It affects everyone differently. If you have like underlying conditions, and it affects you even worse, especially the elderly. It's really going to affect the elderly, and yeah, so it depends on your health as well. It's interesting times, man. Interesting times. It really, really is. Yep. It's good stuff, though, man. It's an interesting time to be alive. I'm so glad, dude. I'm so happy that this election's almost over with. I'm so ecstatic about that. I'm so tired of hearing about different elections. I'm so glad that the new gaming generation is upon us. I'll be glad when the Xbox Series X comes out finally and the PS5 finally comes out so we can stop hearing about that shit too. I am so tired of hearing which one's better. Woo! I'm just man, just buy one and shut up. Like for real. It's like it's getting old now. It's like, come on. Like no one argues about Android versus Apple anymore because people know, you know. It's just no one cares. But it is what it is. What can you do? But it's a good time. It's an interesting time to be alive. So I went and did a water heater for the first time the other day. It was weird. I changed out two coils in an electric water heater. It was pretty funny. It was so I cut the breaker off obviously, and then I went down and hooked the water hose to it to drain the tank. It was a 50-gallon tank, and I drained it. I let it drain. 1 second. It really depends. I think COVID is going to be one of those viruses that it's going to be you get it, you get over it, you move forward, move on with your life. You're going to have to naturally build an immunity against it. That's the only way it's really going to go away. I mean, it's just it's the way you have to look at it. That's the way I look at it, at least. But it's interesting times. I bought me some spark plugs the other day for my car. I'll be putting these in next weekend. I can't do it this weekend because of I am on call from work, and if I get a call from work, I don't want to be that guy that's cars in pieces while the work calls me in. So I was when I was working in healthcare. Check this out. When I worked in a nursing facility, the last one I worked for before this job, this is going to be interesting to you. Listen to this. They made us take a COVID test every 2 weeks. It was required. We had to take a COVID test every 2 weeks because it was a nursing facility. And what makes it interesting is everyone that's volunteering for COVID tests, they're wanting to do the census during this exact same time frame. So you're submitting your information for this COVID test, and you're also getting a count for a census at the same time. Putting your DNA on file. That's right. Think about that for a second. Let that set in with you. Yeah. Oh, Lordy. But so now they tested you for COVID, and now they got your DNA, and there really ain't much you can really do about it beyond that point because you've already submitted it because you're working. And yeah, so it's just definitely an interesting time to be alive. It really, really is. Yeah. But you know, I've been watching. Oh, did y'all watch The Mandalorian? Anybody here a Star Wars fan? Have you seen the new Mandalorian trailer? The new Mandalorian season 2, episode 1, episode 9. Sorry, chapter 9. Sorry, chapter 9, episode season 2, episode 1, chapter 9. Have you seen it yet? Have any of you all seen The Mandalorian? If you haven't seen The Mandalorian, shame on you. Shame on you. It's a great show. You should watch it. I recommend it. That's a great show. The Blacklist on Netflix is a great show. God, I watch a lot of TV. I just realized that. It's crazy. Oh, also, I am working on a studio downstairs. That's right, everybody. I am working on putting together a little studio downstairs in my basement so I can talk to you folks and do some videos down there. When is it going to be ready? I have no idea. You haven't heard of Mandalorian? You should really look it up. Google it on YouTube or something. It's a really good show. I recommend it. But until next time, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please share my channel, like, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a safe day. David, thank you for talking, man. You have a blessed day, buddy. And I'll pray for you. You too, the other person that's watching. Later.